Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another brilliant episode of the Musings on 39 podcast. Today I'm joined by my co hosts, as usual, Cameron, Keanu. What's going on, my boys?
Good evening, all.
Good evening, my fellow brothers.
So, how are we feeling, boys? A brilliant weekend of football, a lot of clowns running on a football pitch for some reason. Don't know what was going on there.
Yeah,
What
interesting
you
times. I
referring to
mean,
with that? Yo, what you referring to with that?
Clown FC getting battered 5-0.
Uh,
oh,
that
that one. Well, it was very nice for my fantasy, so I'm not complaining. But
should we?
for from a broader
Should,
perspective, ish. Yes, Keanu, go ahead.
no, I was just should we let sleeping bears sleep? Well, I can't. What's the correct saying? Should we sleeping bears lie? Or I don't even know
Let
what the right
sleeping
saying.
dogs lie. Dogs.
Yeah,
Well, to be fair, Arsenal are playing like a bunch of dogs at the moment. But hey,
Well, is there anything in particular you want to chat about first before we go to
well,
Arsenal?
I'd just like to say before we crack on, there's what 24 hours left of the transfer window open, or I don't know how long, a day, whoever
I
knows.
think it's
It would be nice
48
if my club
hours.
could sign someone. It would be nice if someone could come into my club. You know, just someone, um, because we have zero attacking depth.
I mean, I saw that you guys are still linked to Renato Sanchez, a late deadline deal, something going on
Do you know what would
there.
be a great signing? Saul.
I'm not really a fan, bro. Not because I don't think he's quality, but I just don't think. I don't think he would fit in a Liverpool mold if we're speaking about.
Would you take Suarez? Would you take Suarez back? If we could get Suarez for a decent amount, let's say 20 million euro from Atletico, would you take him?
Well, I don't know if he will go that cheap even, bro.
Bro, but like, don't forget, Barca still want to sell Coutinho and Griezmann, so
Mm.
I
they
think
gotta go
Griezmann would
somewhere.
fit our fit the way we play. He'll drop back and whatnot, and he's also a good passer of the ball.
Just picture it, right? Ring Salah or Griezmann, left wing Mane, and then down the middle will be Griezmann or Salah, depending on the
Or
on the
even
I
day of
Jota.
day.
Yeah.
I even think that Saul for Man United would be sound. I think they're missing a player like
Oh
that. I
yes,
think
definitely.
they
Nah,
don't
Or
want
bro.
to.
even or even
Nah, bro. Kamavinga.
no,
Kamavinga.
I think based on what I saw on Sunday, with the United Wolves game, Ruben Neves would be a
Yeah.
perfect signing for you guys.
Well,
Perfect signing.
while we're on that, man, why not discuss the incident probably of the weekend with the whole close to leg break tackle by
I just have a
Pogba
question
on
for
Neves?
United fans. I agree with you, but I think we need to consider what happened before that incident, which is why I think there was such uproar from the Wolves fans and whatnot. Is in the first half, Bruno, the princess, gets taken out. Right? He cries on the floor, wants his Oscar, gets his Oscar. Ref gives a. Wolves have the ball, but then Semedo kicks it out. Who knows? Good sportsmanship, or it's his fellow countryman, but he kicks the ball out. The ball goes dead. Right? Now, second half, near the end of the game, final 10 minutes, United are attacking. Ruben Neves um, goes in
It
for.
was it was a dead ball. It was a 50-50. Don't
Pogba's
forget that
studs
part.
were up, mate. If he was an inch or more to the right, there
Bro,
goes
they were
Ruben Neves' shin.
Mike Dean was right next to them,
He
and it
wasn't,
was a
and
50.
Mike Dean's blind as a bat.
But look, it was a 50-50 scenario, and and it
Fifty-fifty,
was
mate.
and it wasn't as blatant as the
I
Jota
agree with you,
incident.
but then surely stop, because that's 50-50. That's, that's.
I do think it was 50-50 in Pogba's defense, and I think the whole thing comes down to sportsmanship. I think that's where it's there's a sour taste
Yeah,
in the
it's ups. Why
mouth.
didn't Varane kick the ball out? But how do you feel as a United fan then, though? Considering Wolves kicked it out in the first half when Princess got injured, and or pretended to be injured. But yet, when a Wolves player goes down, then you guys don't extend the courtesy. How does that make you feel as a fan? I'm putting all. I know this is for our listeners out there. We're not trying to nitpick the rules of football. We're just trying to talk about the sportsmanship behind it here.
Look, personally, okay, I understand the whole idea of sportsmanship and all of that. However, I mean, we got a goal out of it. I understand that, we could have extended a bit of courtesy back in return. However, it was getting to that time of the match where, where players start to get desperate, you know what I mean? So I feel like I feel kind of bad, but at the same time, I'm happy that we got those 3 points.
I feel you. I feel you. I understand what you're saying. But Keanu, we as Liverpool fans, we saw in the season that we won that it took a team effort. You know what I'm saying? To really get over the line with the Prem and whatnot. And I think many fans see teams win the Prem and they're like, oh, this team will win. But I think coming from a more personal perspective now, after us seeing Liverpool, you need like a full-on squad. Um, but you know, if United are planning on winning the league, those are the type of games and the type of goals that you are going to cherish because, that's 3 points instead of just the one.
No, look, I just wanted to come up for them. I think it's that kind of game where United grinded out a result, and props to them. I do think they were second best on the day. However, they
Oh,
got
100%.
they got
100%.
they got the 3 points, and that incident kind of overshadowed things because it's as I said, it wasn't.
No,
I
I
really
agree.
think it's a
It
50-50.
would be nice if we could sign a Dharma, though, just on the side.
Yeah.
Look, all I can say is, look, if you go back to the incident in question, who if you look closely, who was nearby and who saw the incident take place? Mike Dean.
But don't you also think that Mike Dean was looking more from Pogba's perspective than from Ruben Nev's perspective? Because if you look at the footage after the match that they show on Sky and whatnot, if you look from behind Ruben Neves, how close Pogba's foot. In fact, the top two studs, I think, nick his shin guard or something like that. Like, bro, that's pretty hefty. But I just want to quickly change the angle on this, if you guys are okay with that. We keep looking at the players, right? And of course, after every game, at least 2 to 3 players get interviewed from various streaming uh, 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 companies like BBC, Sky, BT Sports, and whatnot. But do you think refs get away with more than what they bargain for? Because I think they do. Because sometimes I think you want to put managers behind a microphone, you want to put players behind a microphone, but you don't want to put the damn refs behind the microphone. I mean, if you look at the Liverpool game, there were so many tackles or calls, both for and against Liverpool and for and against Chelsea, that were horrendous. Harvey Elliott gets taken out by two defenders, not a foul. Right? There's a slight contact with Conte or Mount. No, that's a foul. Matip absolutely destroys one of the Chelsea players. I think it was Mount. No foul. But then, I don't know, I think it was Rudiger. Touches Mane or Salah. No, it's a foul. Some of the refereeing this past weekend was shocking. So do you think they should also be brought to task about it? The same way players are.
I think there are referees that are guilty of it. Before that, I was watching the Leeds versus Burnley game, and that game was riddled with fouls. To be honest with you guys, some of the calls were very questionable, but at the same time, you just think. I understand where some of the refs come from. They don't want to slow the momentum of the game, but at the same time, there are situations where they have to put a stop to play because something serious, like a serious incident, is going down. So I would say there are definitely some refs that are guilty of it, and there are some refs that are also taking advantage of this. But I think I was also watching the Liverpool Chelsea game, and I did enjoy the momentum of it in the first half.
Okay, Keanu, and you?
Yo, I think there was a clear and obvious mistake in the United game. I really do. I feel it was a foul. If you're gonna give Granit Xhaka a red card for his bad tackle, which it was, I think you. I don't think you send Pogba off, but I think you have to stop play and call it back. Even if Greenwood goes and scores, it's. I'm not saying United wouldn't go on and win the game. I wouldn't say it wouldn't be a draw. I couldn't say what would have happened after that. But in that specific incident, I think the man missed a call. The Liverpool.
Can I just ask you
Mm,
quickly though? Granit Xhaka had both legs up. Pogba had only one
yeah,
leg.
went over the ball. Could have probably snapped Neves' leg probably in half, bro. To be honest. Bad, very bad. Bad tackle.
Anyway, yeah,
50-50.
yeah, yeah. Just wanted to ask.
It's not Raka's
Okay.
red card. I'm not disputing. I think, as I said, I don't think Pogba should have been sent off. I think if he was sent off for that tackle, I think it would have
Yeah.
been harsh. I do think it is a foul. I think he's
It
endangering.
could have gone both ways, to be honest. Yes, it was endangering the player,
But that's what I'm
definitely.
saying. It's more of the intent than the actual contact because I think the intent was there. It's fifty
Yeah.
fifty. Unlucky it is. Whoever wins the ball first, but the manner it was done was nearly bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
Okay.
that's my thing. And then the other big refereeing call, I know a lot of people had uproar about the Reece James handball, and
Yeah.
I'm completely in favor with you guys. Like sending him off is harsh, and it's not nice because now you hear people like Tab saying, "Oh, you couldn't beat 10 men," but in the end of the day, it is the law. You have to
Yeah.
send him off.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
No, I agree. It's a
on
new
that
rule.
topic though,
you have to send him off, unfortunately, but yeah.
I have something to say to people who said, "Oh, you guys didn't beat Chelsea with 10 men." By no means am I saying that we didn't lose 2 points. We did, but what we showed, right, is that if this Liverpool team at the end of last season, which we know how brilliantly that went, facing this Chelsea team, we would have probably taken a draw. We probably would have. Before the game, if you offered us a draw, we probably would have taken it and ran. We would have wanted the win, but we would have probably taken, the draw, especially after Lukaku manhandled Pablo Mari. But we showed we are resilient in defence. What scored Chelsea's goal
It
wasn't
was a bit
the
of
header.
luck.
It was Havertz's movement that got him there. And to be fair, I don't think any
It
keeper in the
was a
world
bit of
saves
luck.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a bit of luck the way it came off of his head.
I told people before the game our defense is going to be resilient. We kept Lukaku in a box, and we played and we dominated with possession. I think why we didn't break them down is Henderson and Robertson was off the pace. So we were only really attacking down one flank, and Robertson was on the left side, which was where Reece James was. And I think if Takimas comes on 10, 20 minutes earlier, or even plays the game with the same situation, I think we beat Chelsea 2-3-1 because we'll flood that side. But Robbo was just off the pace, lacking probably match fitness. Henderson the same. But a lot of positives. Mane, outstanding with his movement. Salah, again, very good. Bobby, we didn't get to see too much. He tweaked himself. And then Jota couldn't really get into the game because they packed up shop at the back. And we could only attack from one side.
Not to have us be a Liverpool podcast, give some positives there to Chelsea.
No, yes. I mean, their defense was phenomenal. Lukaku, who made some incredible movement, the way he backs into defenders. Mount could have scored one early on. Also really impressed with Reece James. He's a talisman. I do think Tuchel missed an opportunity to play Chilwell. But yeah, Keanu, what was your opinion?
There's not enough credit around here for man of the match or the real man of the match, Mendy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, some phenomenal saves. Fabinho's one and
Fabinho save. No, bro, Mendy was fabulous. I think what a lot of people are missing is that Tuchel made substitutions at halftime. I think that changed the game. I think he set up perfectly for for what was the onslaught to come in the second half. I think he's tactically he was on point. Um, they brought on Thiago Silva at halftime and Kovacic at halftime. I think that basically cemented their 1 point gained. And that's why I'm not that upset about. Yeah, we did lose 2 points, fair enough. But I would rather lose 2 points to Chelsea than 2 points to a relegation team. So, you know what I'm saying? I think Tuchel perfectly tactically got it right. I think Chelsea were up there in the first 45 minutes. Although the corner that they got, that the goal which they scored was debatable, but irrelevant of that, I think.
Oh yeah, I didn't think that was a corner
I
at
also
all.
didn't, but irrelevant. They got the corner, they scored the goal, and I wouldn't say they did not deserve a goal. So I take my hats off for that. Cool. I feel we probably should have edged it, but I think Tuchel got it right. He got the right players on at the right time, and they're good defensively, bro. That's their strength. So if we play into their strengths, that's why City couldn't beat them. So
You know, talking about edging, how about we talk about the edge of breakdown, the brink of a breakdown,
I
Arsenal?
was just about to say we can discuss something that we probably all have in common. My
Oh my
my
gosh.
word. I genuinely thought. I thought if there's one game for Arsenal to pull an Arsenal, it's against City. In the sense that they've just been battered by Brentford, Chelsea, but watch Arsenal pull
And
an
they won
Arsenal.
6-0 in the
Oh,
midweek
the other
against
one
West
6
Brom.
0 but that was against West Brom's second string side.
But I mean, confidence
Oh,
builder.
yes,
You'd
yes.
imagine that would work
Confidence
wonders for
in
them.
inverted commas.
Keanu, how about you start us off? You start us
I
off with
don't know
this
where
one.
to start. I think our previous pod tried to find like clues of where it's gone wrong, and
Everywhere.
again, I sat here. I told the whole group chat with just more than the two or three of us on. I said, "How much are they losing today?" I used different words, but how badly they're losing today. And Oaks were like, nah, they're gonna try. It was 9 minutes, it was 1-0. It was 12 minutes, it was 2-0. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I really tried hard. But, bro, I'm being honest. I looked at the starting 11, and dude, I can't say it's not that bad of a team. I think if you compare them man for man on paper, I think they got the likes of a Leicester, a West Ham. They've got that kind of team, bro. They had Odegaard, they had Smith Rowe, they had Aubameyang starting, they had Saka. Xhaka was on the field for a little bit. And then, cool, they get battered in 15 minutes, 2-0 down. Then Xhaka's like, you know what, I don't want to be here. Nearly kills someone with a tackle. And then I'm looking at this, I'm like, this team is toxic. The fans are toxic, the team is toxic. It's just not a good place to be, bro. And then we see today one of their players publicly post that, like, please let me go. Like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to play for a different team.
Can you pull that out and quote it?
Well, he said he just
To
wants
go somewhere where he's wanted or something.
where
Tubbs
he
can
can
quote the
play.
tweet. But,
Yeah.
bro, how more banterish can you get? What is this? It looks like a circus. And then Mesut Ozil goes and tweets, trust the process with crying faces. What process, bro? Where's the process, bro?
But there is none.
Bro.
That's what
But
I'm
there is
saying.
none.
Like,
Arsenal need to learn that they are no longer a top side.
dude, dude. I'm saying this is what I said in the previous pod as well, and I'll ask you guys: do you think Arteta's getting the most out of the guys he has on his team?
I personally, I don't just think the problem's Arteta. I think Arteta's part of the issue,
He's
but I
not,
don't think
but
he's the
is he
main issue.
getting the most out of the
How
players?
how how are you, Callum Chambers, getting out jumped by
Dude, Callum
Gundogan?
Chambers shouldn't be Arsenal player. Let's be honest.
Bro, the Amazon All or Nothing for Arsenal's gonna be something special.
Seriously,
Yeah, no,
how?
He's not good enough to be an Arsenal player, bro.
How? And then as Arteta, how do you put Kosinyak, or however you pronounce his name,
Kolasinac.
Kolasinac, at centre back? Man got relegated with Schalke last season. Relegated. But you're putting him at centre back when
Well,
he's a
he's not.
left
Well,
back.
I
Not
see
a very
why he
good one.
can play centre back, but
But,
damn,
I
bro.
mean, Rob Holding shouldn't be there. Chambers shouldn't be there. Kolasinac shouldn't be there.
Tierney was
He's in
also
a bad
he
bad
was,
form, man.
he was being.
No, but that's because he has to take load of everyone
No, I
else's crap
understand
on the
you
field.
rate him, bro,
He's the
but
only decent player playing. Odegaard, I don't know where he was on the weekend. Aubameyang wearing a shirt too big. I mean, heck, I think was it Troops. Troops even said that the kit man couldn't even get it right as they gave Leno the away kit.
That was against Chelsea.
Oh, is that against Chelsea or whatever the case
Yeah.
was? But what I'm saying is that it's hopeless. It's hope. What are they going to do? Because I don't see anything happening for them in the transfer
well, they've
line.
spent
Well,
big.
maybe they just have cash. They've spent big, yes,
They spent the most money in the Prem this season.
but they've signed
No,
good
bro.
players
I
though.
asked you guys.
You telling me Odegaard isn't a good player? You telling me Odegaard isn't a good player?
Besides Odegaard, they haven't played a
Bro,
single of their
how
signings.
on earth do you go spend over 20 million euros or pounds on a double relegated
On
goalkeeper
Ramsdale.
to come sit on your bench? How? How? 20 plus million, bro. You mad.
Because whoever's in charge of transfers is Mull in the head.
What, Edu's Mole?
I think Arsenal are a completely different team if they have Leno in goal, Suarez at right back, right? Gabriel and Ben White at centre back, Tierney left back, CDM Party with Chaka,
Shakalaka. Shaka, yeah.
and then you have Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, and probably Aubameyang up front.
What, you're not even going to start Odegaard?
Oh, sorry, Odegaard. Martinelli up front, Aubameyang on the bench.
Bro, tell me, right? No, but here's
But
my
that's the issue,
worry,
though.
right? I'm not even asking him, but here's the worry from looking.
I hope they get relegated because they're the only top flight
Listen
team
to
to
this,
never be
right?
relegated.
How many players are missing from the weekend starting lineup that would start?
A few.
No,
Gabriel,
no, no.
Thomas
Nketiah,
So,
Partey,
Pepe,
okay, let's say
Ben
two
Ben
White,
centre
White.
backs and a CDM. Okay,
a CDM.
that's about it.
And the winger.
You can debate Bellerin doesn't want to be there. I don't even know where he is. So you got your best left back, you got your best striker, you've got your best wingers. Maybe Pepe, I don't know where he was. Odegaard, Smith Rowe, that's probably their best starting players.
Pepe's, I think Pepe has COVID
Yeah, okay,
because it
so
says here he had an
Oh, it's
illness.
not like
no,
he'd
no,
help
okay,
them
let's see.
much
So
now
let's
anyway.
say 2 to 3 players missing from their best 11. Their best 11. And they just got battered for the third game in a row in the Prem.
Let me ask this. If they lose a 1-0 against Burnley after the international break, where does that leave Arteta for you guys? Because then
I
it'll
don't think
be
they sack him
10
though.
goals conceded without a single goal scored.
Yeah, I don't think they sack him because who you going to bring in? You think Conte's going to want to take over that pile of crap?
They need to do something.
Well, who in their right mind would go and manage Arsenal right now? I saw Rodgers was tipped, but
He
crisis.
turned it down,
Why would
bro.
you go
He
from
turned it down. He
Leicester
wants
to
to rather
that?
be at Leicester.
And I don't blame him.
Arsenal's next fixtures are they play Norwich at home and they play away at Burnley. So if Arsenal, I don't know, if Arsenal lose to Norwich,
Bro, I think
The thing
I
is that
think we
who
should
they
have
going to
gone,
bring
bro.
in?
I think the City game was an embarrassment, bro. I really do. I thought, you know what, if you go lose,
the fact that their fans started to celebrate in the
it was the
stands when
fourth
they
goal, bro.
conceded, I think it was the fourth goal.
No, bro.
And City didn't even have De Bruyne, bro. If De Bruyne was there, it would have been far worse.
Bro, I don't know where to go from, bro. I'm worried for them, bro. I think Arteta is I don't know how he's still there. That was embarrassing.
So, today is actually the 30th of August, and tomorrow is deadline day for the transfer window in Europe. And, based off of like the first few games, I am going to give the L of the transfer window to Arsenal. This is just, I know it's too soon to speak, but they're so long taking the L for spending the most money and for doing nothing with what they've spent.
Mm, I think that's a little bit harsh, though.
Dude, Ramsdale for 32.
Yeah, yeah. Look, but I think okay, yeah, you're probably right. But I think that there's a lot of promise in who they've signed, in the likes of Ben White and Odegaard and whatnot.
Norwich is definitely going to get. I feel Norwich will definitely be relegated, but I feel that they've done at least a bit better business than
Yeah,
Arsenal have.
probably, bro. With their budget and stuff, they probably have potentially signed more. I think. Oh, dude, to say who's been the worst, you could probably say Liverpool's up there as well, just because the lack of recruitment. I don't think we need to recruit that much, but I do think the lack of recruitment is,
Also, our stupid evaluation
yeah,
for
like
Origi, my word.
I hope you guys have noticed what I meant now when I said that you guys are in need of a
Oh,
striker.
I've just been reading now that on Twitter that we are apparently planning a deadline day bid for Jared Bowen.
West Ham are too busy trying to get Lingard through the door, so
I'd take Antonio. I know Keanu wants Adama.
I think whoever gets Adama, if he moves away from Wolves, is getting one of the best right wingers
look,
in the
my
league right now.
my quickly evaluation on
Mm.
this will probably fade into another convo. So I don't know if someone just wants to pop in their last thing regarding transfers.
PSG wanting 200 mil for Mbappe, crazy, they're losing him on a free now.
But you can't blame PSG for wanting to keep him though, because this is probably their best chance to win Champions League, as we've mentioned in
Yeah,
previous
I also think so.
previous podcasts.
But now I think, as I said, let me sway away from the transfer saga, and we speak about Adama quickly.
Mm.
Um, After watching the United game, I thought he put United on their asses. Red.
Him and Trincao, bro.
Trincao plays very well, give it to him.
Yeah,
Also a youngster from Barcelona on loan. But Adama really, really impressed me, bro. He really tore that United midfield into shreds. He took on Varane a couple of times, put him on his ass. Sometimes Maguire, then Varane would cover, so fair enough. Lacks some quality. Probably his final ball and finish
yeah,
is
lacks a
not.
final ball.
But I think
Yeah, that's
under
what I
the
told. I
right
told
manager would
Tubbs. I told him, you know what? If this man is just like someone's put a little bit of a arm around him and kind of guides him in a direction,
an
I
arm
feel
around him, yeah.
he will be one of the best. And my view on him kind of goes back. Surely we can't be as fans sitting at home and watching the game and making evaluations about players like Adama. Surely some owners sit and watch games and look at this and just think, damn, like, is 30, 40 million, maybe it's just
They
maybe worth
don't.
it.
That's why they have sporting directors to do that. You know what I
No,
mean?
but this is why this is where I'm coming to, because I think this is the team I would like to speak about next. Is if I'm Tottenham, 3 wins out of 3 games, both or all 3 games 1-0. Harry Kane is staying. Is there something to look forward to? And why I'm saying about the owners like being involved is obviously I've watched a couple of episodes of the Tottenham Hotspur documentary,
All or nothing. Yeah.
and I don't know if it's just perceived in that way or it's how it's filmed, but it seems like from the few episodes I've watched and from my viewing of Tottenham games, it seems like Daniel Levy is very involved. He's around the club, he's continuously in chats with players, he's always at home games. That's
That's
where
what
I'm
an
coming
owner
down
should
to.
be
So
doing,
now I'm
though.
thinking to myself, cool, everyone has lots to say about Daniel Levy. He's a and he's a that, and he's a and he's a this. Fair enough, he probably is. He's probably all of those things people say about him. But you know what? I kind of respect the man a little bit because I wish I could see my owners in the stands every home game, or at least knowing, you know what, maybe put something on social media saying, oh, we're watching the game at home, put some video on or something, or just a picture now and then to be like, you know what, they actually care. Because as I said, I'm a fan. I sit at home. I'll go watch United versus Wolves. Don't support either teams. I just watch for the love of football. And I make evaluation on a player. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, there's probably many reasons why people aren't spending 20, 30, 40 million on Adama. But surely, sometimes you got to sit back and think, I wish just owners saw this and said, you know what, maybe he's worth it. Maybe he's, I'm not just saying Adama, but players in general, like maybe this guy is the real deal. And I feel that's what's missing. But anyway, long story short, Tottenham 3 wins, 3 games, top of the log. Arsenal are last. Surely they must be a happy bunch of fans now heading into international break.
Nuno is, you know, people already criticized him before the season started, and he even without Harry Kane being there, I really respect what he's been able to do. He has this big step up from Wolves into a more of a quote unquote top six team. But you have to credit the 3 wins to the immense performances by Son Heung-min.
So they beat City 1-0, they beat Wolves at home 1-0, and then they went and beat Watford 1-0. So
Yeah, bro.
3 clean sheets, 3 1-0
I
victories.
don't think they'll win the league, but I think they are going to be in the top four race.
So I think they'll fall off against some teams. But as of now, I can't say anything. They've beaten the champions of England. Probably a little bit lucky against Wolves, but it seems like Wolves are struggling to put goals away. They beat Wolves. And probably didn't do the best against Watford, but they won the game. I think why I
The
think a lot of people judged Nuno before the season is because he was probably not Tottenham's first or second or third choice.
But I do think Daniel Levy and the owners of Leicester are one of those. They're protecting their assets, like they're literally very hands on. They're very hands on to their projects that they're owning, and that's something that should be really praised. There's not enough owners that are they're not there every game, visually celebrating with their players like the Leicester owners. So those owners are very special. I really hope that those fans appreciate them.
But I also think, we need to also remember that a club like Liverpool is owned by a corporation. It's not just, they have many other investments. So we aren't their sole responsibility, which is the nice thing of like a Tottenham. Daniel Levy isn't like an owner of an NFL team, for example.
I think
Like
Man
United,
Liverpool's
United.
owners are owners of a baseball team, but Arsenal and United's owners own an American football team. So there's so many different things, but I think for Tottenham's sake, I was
same,
hoping Kane would leave. Number one, I don't think it must be nice to play with someone who wanted to leave. I think it's going to be interesting how Nuno manages that.
I think now that they know that Kane is leaving, I think they'll definitely. I think that Kane now they have like a fixed time frame when they know Kane is leaving. I think they're
Yeah.
definitely going to get
Well,
involved in the Haaland.
no.
They'll try, but I don't. I doubt they'll
Tubbs,
be.
you were doing so well this
Haaland's.
evening, and now you come and speak this nonsense.
No, I'm saying that I think they'll get involved, but I
Yeah.
don't think he'll
Yeah,
ever
but I
go to
think at
them.
the end of the day, Tottenham have always relied on one talisman. If you look all the way back to Bale and then Kane, it would have just been nice for them to have everyone as a team working together. Dele Alli's playing well, Son's playing well, but that's football. I still think that there's going to be a huge gap between the top four, in no particular order, the two Manchester teams, Chelsea and Liverpool, right? Any one of those four teams can win the league this season. But I think there's going to be quite a big gap between fourth and fifth in the chasing pack, because I think West
Agreed.
Ham's going to
And Arsenal's
fall
going to
off
stay 20th.
eventually. Because remember, West Ham, this squad has never played multiple games a week, and they have Europa League now. So it's going to be interesting to how David Moyes manages his squad when Antonio has to play twice a week. Leicester will probably always be in and around fifth, but I just don't think they have the squad to compete for the title. But then again, they did it once before. What's stopping them again? And Tottenham, I think the same old things are going to happen to them. They don't have enough depth. If someone in the starting 11 gets injured, who is really going to replace them? And yeah, we'll just have to see. But I think the big four are going to be above and beyond everyone. Apart from the games that they play against each other, I think probably all four of them may go not unbeaten, but I don't see them losing many other games apart from against each other and like the likes of Leicester and Tottenham and whatnot. Um, so I think it's going to be an incredibly, incredibly competitive season. And I think it's been spiced up even more by CR7 returning and news today again. And Tubbs, I'll ask your opinion on this first, and then I'll go to Keanu. He's gonna he's gonna be given the number 7. So for our listeners out there, CR7 is Cristiano Ronaldo,
And his brand, CR7 is his
and
brand.
yeah, Cavani was registered with the number 7, but United have managed to twist the arm of the Prem and probably offer Cavani a nice lump sum to let go of the number 7, and yeah, Ronaldo will be wearing number 7 again. What's your take on that?
I'm glad to have Ronaldo back. First and foremost, because now we can now have a healthy rotation of Cavani, Ronaldo. If one of them is not in form, but I really can't. I don't think Solskjaer's gonna be subbing off Ronaldo that often. I still feel very gutted though for Van der Beek. I feel gutted now for like players like Dan James who's now not going to be getting as much game time. I am happy though that the younger players will be able to learn and feed off of the experiences and wisdom that Ronaldo has in his the various positions that
Yeah.
he's played. But I still feel that United should have rather invested in a CDM. But I guess the whole rumors and everything regarding Ronaldo to City really forced their hand.
Yeah, I'm asking. I'm wondering now what Tabs was thinking. Do you think Ronaldo was actually going to go to City?
I think he wasn't. Again, I think they used City to twist United's arm, and they were successful at it. But yeah, I don't think he would have gone to City. I think he does have loyalty to the team, but if it did happen, I'd be here in a different mood, boys.
I'm a little bit scared, but a little bit calm because I think the wages you guys have put him on is definitely not what you're gonna get. I think he is still he's an athlete and a half. He will get you goals. He will win you games. But I think he's on 450,000 a week. But I think the Ronaldo brand he brings is so universal that I think United will gain from it, and I'm sure they'll have a lot more eyes on them as well now. But as you said in your comments, I'm very excited for him to be in the Prem. I think it's elevated the Prem to another level. It's just to take in the Prem even another yard in front of the rest of the leagues. But I'm hoping it pays off because I'm seeing now, I'm sure, I don't know if it is going to happen, but it seems like it is. I think United are going to get rid of Daniel James. I think they're getting rid of players that have a long term future for instant success. I think Daniel James is very young, there's a lot of potential, also just need to be nurtured. A little bit more one on one, probably effort should have been given, and then if it doesn't work out, fine. It was a project that failed. And now I would rather sell the likes of Lingard, who's 28. He's not a youngster. He's in his peak. What you see is what you're going to get. Yeah, he can be good. He can probably get better. But he can't just transfer or transform into something overnight. And I feel like United should rather look to catch in on him and look forward to the future. I know Tubbs was on Diallo saying, "Oh, he's going to have a future," and I hope he does. But it's disheartening to see these Oaks getting bought and then some old pros come back. It's the same with like Thiago Silva. I saw a public thing coming out. He's saying he feels so sad where PSG saw him as an old player, not useful. They kick him out the team, and a year later they sign Ramos, who's probably I think he's older than him now, or same age, maybe a year younger or so. And now he's got a use in PSG, but still Thiago Silva didn't. So it's things like that that is disheartening to see.
Yeah, same thing from Barcelona. They thought Luis Suarez was too old and they kicked him out, and look, he ended up winning a league.
Yeah, but seriously, Tubbs, who takes your free kicks and penalties now?
Penalties, Bruno. Free kicks, Ronaldo.
Are you mad? Do
No, I'm
you
not
think
mad.
Ronaldo's going to give up the penalties?
He better.
As a United fan, that is shocking to think that CR7 is not going to give up the penalty duties.
I just want to maintain the healthy balance of salty Liverpool fans.
You know that Ronaldo is Ronaldo, right? Not Brazilian Ronaldo.
Oh, but I'm gonna miss the weekly complaints of penalties.
I think Ronaldo should be on pens because man can't score free kicks. He scored one free kick for United that was a thunderbolt, and we're still living on the memory of that free kick. He should take pens. Fernandez can be on free kicks. I think Ronaldo, CR7, will be on pen.
Fair enough. But now, Tubbs, in maybe like the last topic or whatnot, which we've seemed to be coming to again and again, we've looked at
I can hear what's
Arsenal
coming.
and their manager, and we've looked at them and we've said, well, look, probably, Arteta should be sacked. We've seen
Yeah.
Nuno go to Spurs, sitting top of the log, nearly having lost his best player, arguably. We're looking at Klopp
Get
having
to the
not
point.
invested much.
Get to the fucking
Let
point.
me finish. We've looked at Klopp not investing much, but in our defence, there's still one day to go in the transfer, but who knows? Harvey Elliott's like a new signing and whatnot. But pretty much the same squad. Tied with you guys on points. We have Chelsea having bought Lukaku and whatnot. Of course, Tuchel's going to be under pressure to at least reach the heights of last season. So now that you have the picture, and City got Grealish. Let's not forget
Christ
that
almighty.
little mini £100 million purchase. If Ollie doesn't win something this season, surely he's gone.
Yes, I agree with that.
Why? Why wouldn't you keep him if he's brought back a culture that United fans identify with?
Well, you can spend millions on a race car, and if you can't show anything for it, then you have to look at the driver then as well. If you built him a state of the art car, right? And your driver is useless, or not useless per se. Yes, he drives well with the car, but he's not able to win. I would say it wouldn't be a bad idea to look at someone else who might get something out of that car.
Okay.
Now that I say that, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard because, like, personally, like, all the United fans are saying this, but now thinking about it really in depth, I'm thinking now about the competition in the Premier League. It's a lot steep. It's a lot steeper and a lot harder
Yeah.
than it has been in years. I think though, I wanna continue putting faith in Solskjaer. I think it's really still too soon to pass judgment because, like,
But how
we
long are
have
you going to wait? It's already been over 10 years since you last won your last trophy.
I do think though, like, the competition has only gotten more and more difficult. We have City who've become, they've definitely become season after season favorites. We have Liverpool who have gotten a rebirth with Klopp at the helm. We have Leicester who are now, they're not favorites, but they're definitely much stronger than they were back when Sir Alex was managing still. And we have a Spurs team that look like that are very dangerous. You know what I mean? And we also have a Chelsea team that are European champions. So I think that it's a much harder competition. It's much harder than what Sir Alex did have. But yeah, I really do
Okay.
want to win something. I want Ollie to win something, but
I just think that there's a lot of pressure under him now that you guys have Ronaldo. Ronaldo's not coming there
Definitely.
to not win. He tried that at Juventus and didn't work. I just hope that United fans know that this isn't the same Ronaldo that played for them before. This isn't the Ronaldo that played at Madrid either. Let's see what he's going to bring to the party, but very exciting to have him back. Keanu, do you have anything to add on this? What's your perspective?
I always try not have my biased crunchios in the morning. If I sound like you oaks, then I know, geez, my biased cereal's getting. But anyway,
I'm not biased. I'm just loyal to the cause.
Man's biased
nah,
against
nah.
Oli, but anyway.
I'm not biased against Oli. You should actually thank me for being the way I am, because
Anyway.
I'm saying you guys deserve a better manager, which would ultimately hinder my team. But hey, you guys want to keep a
Yeah,
PE
look, I'm
coach?
also fine with that. I think I'm
Biased.
gonna just quickly chat about him. First game of the season, wow. Next two games, damn, that shit was bad, bro. That shit was bad. But you know what? I think props to him getting a result at Wolves. I think he's really, really amped the revs on his ass, because I think bringing in your star boy, the OQ, been going on about and licking ass for years, Sancho, you got him under the belt. You've gone and signed a World Cup winner, Varane. Then you go and sign the top two best players, or one of the top two best players in the world for the last 10 years. Bro, you putting a fire under your ass. You really are. I'm hoping it works out for him. I can't see them winning the league. It's a very early impression, but I think they're not on par with the likes of City, Chelsea, and I would even dare to say Liverpool. I don't know, something's just not clicking. I think
I think Tubbs, until you guys sort out that CDM role.
I've watched City, I've watched Tottenham, I've watched Chelsea, I've watched United. I'm honest, I'm saying United, first game of the season, I'm impressed. I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn. Fine, however Leeds played, whatever you want to counter argue, that's fine. But I'm just saying the next two performances were not good. And I realized, I think I mentioned on a pod earlier in one of our previous pods, it takes something special to be a champion. And I think it's not that we are good. That's what I'm saying. We can debate Chelsea, we can debate Liverpool, we can debate City. We haven't seen enough. But from what I've seen for United, I'm hoping their round pegs in square holes just work. Because I'm just worried that they've missed a trick, maybe with a Camavinga or a Neves or whoever they were after in the CDM position. Because
In a way, I'm kind of happy we have shown the best and the worst of us, so,
well, you hope that's the worst, bro. But yeah, I truly think you need to sort out some positioning there. I think Pogba can't be a defensive midfielder, and I think Fred, he's too up and down for a Champions winning team.
I'd play I'd play no no. I'd play Donny there, if I'm
No,
very
same.
honest with you.
So would I, but as I told Subs, Donny van de Beek is basically the bench. You might as well just put him, you might as well engrave his name,
You might as
because,
well just transfer out, bro.
dude, I just need to understand why they signed him.
All I'm gonna say, if the top four, namely Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea, and Liverpool, in no particular order, keep fit, their squad's fit, I think it's gonna be a four-horse race for this title.
Agree.
And those four are going to be above and beyond everyone else. And I wouldn't be that surprised if they were the final four of this year's Champions League. Because I think if their squads can stay fit, if draws go their way, the England teams are again showing time and time again that the Premier League is the most hotly contested league and have the best players.
City's gonna choke.
Oh, look, I personally, I don't think City wins the league, but I think that those top four
No, I mean in Champions League.
are yeah, well, that's remains to be seen. But
That's a
but
given.
those four English teams, I think, are going to set this league alight. And with the likes of West Ham, Everton, Leicester, and Spurs all chomping at the bits, maybe even an Aston Villa and whatnot, this season is going to get tasty. And we always have good old Arsenal in the relegation
banter
to keep
stories.
us company and banter.
We have some we have some comedy.
Let me
this season.
ask
Oh,
you guys
definitely.
one last thing, right? Everton, Rafa Benitez, the Mari Gray signing,
My word,
Robert
that
Lewin,
goal.
Calvert Lewin
Sure.
in the striker, Richarlison, Alan in the midfield. I don't know who else is there.
Gomez.
Keane, Digne,
It's a
Pickford.
no. Moise Keane
Yeah,
got sold.
no,
Oh yeah, you're talking
Michael
about
Keane,
Michael
the
Keane.
CB. Uh,
Digne. Holgate.
Look again, like Cameron keeps on going on and on. It's a solid team. It's a really solid team that Everton
they
have
got
a
a good
really solid
manager.
team and a brilliant coach in Rafa Benitez. But again, their depth is they don't have good enough depth.
I think they're a little dark horse, bro. I think they Gray. I thought every time I look at him, I'm like, this guy, he can't do it. He's just missing something, bro.
I can see them competing with Leicester for top five.
Yeah.
That's the
I
I can
furthest
think,
I can see
see
them
them,
go.
Leicester and Spurs chomping at the bits.
dude, I'm
But I
impressed
do
with them,
think
man.
what, unfortunately, with all those teams is that the minute they get one big injury, the depth to replace. It's not that they don't have anyone to replace that's good. It's just you're taking a 10 out of 10 and you're replacing it with an 8 or a 7. There's
Fine.
nothing against the guy who's coming in. It's just, you know,
No, I respect that.
um,
You are correct, bro.
but,
I think if they
but
maintain, they
chaps, I
could
think this
also.
season's going to be intense.
Yeah, dude, I also agree. I think if they hit some form, bro, they could be up there. Eh? I really
Early on
I
form,
could
yeah,
really see.
definitely,
It's a
definitely.
scary league. This is the. I haven't been as excited for a very long time to have football back. When the football's over, I'm excited for the next weekend. That's why this whole international break thing's even got me depressed, bro. It's
But I guess guys, with that, I think let's call it for this evening. I've definitely had a great chat. I feel that we've all had a great chat. But I feel that after this international break, it's going to be a cracker. It's really gonna start. We're gonna start seeing the real league kick off from there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's just hope that everyone stays fit and that we have a great season ahead, boys.
All right, and with that, we are calling a close to the musings on 39 podcast for this week. Listeners, thank you very much for sticking with us throughout. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask us, feel free to follow the link that will be with the podcast, where you can drop a voice message, or a question of your choice that we'll read out in the next episode. Please feel free to have a listen to any of our previous episodes, or you'll be able to find our pages on any social media. And we're slowly integrating our podcasts onto YouTube, so look forward to that. This has been Tobbs, wishing you all a good night or a good evening or a good day, and peace out.
Cheerio.
cheers.